In the fragrance game, we have a 7-headed Mount Rushmore, especially on the designer side. Stay tuned, I'm gonna tell you all about those 7. Back to doing another video. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Sambroome back again with another video. Welcome back. Now in this fragrance game, we have a 7-headed Mount Rushmore, especially on the designer side. So all of these are going to be designers, all right? And these 7 fragrances kind of set the trend on the whole fragrance game, at least in my opinion. At the number 7 spot, we're going with Dior Homme. There was no fragrance house out there back when this was released, back in 2011, when this thing was released, that had an iris-based fragrance until Dior did it. They came out with this fragrance here and it set the world on fire, especially when it came to a men wearing a fragrance that smelled like a lipstick. Now it spawned fragrances like Valentino Intense. It had countless flankers with Intense, Perfume, Sport, as well as Eau, as well as Cologne. So it spawned a countless amount of fragrances from this line, because all of them have that base except for Cologne that has that lipstick vibe to it. And then again, like I said, all these other companies started following suit and started to make a lipstick fragrance, all the way from companies like Valentino, like I said, to companies like Authenticity, as well as companies like Armani with Futur de l'Homme, right, which I reviewed. So all them companies start coming out with fragrances like that to try to emulate and to capitalize on what Dior Homme was doing, because they set the trend, they set the world on fire with this back in 2011 when they released this. Dior Homme, head number 7. The 6th head on Mount Rushmore of the fragrance game comes from Viktor&Rolf, and it's Viktor&Rolf Spicebomb. I remember when this was released, I was sitting in a barber shop. I opened up a magazine and there was an advertisement for Viktor&Rolf, and it was being released that fall. I smelled them like, oh my God, that's an amazing scent. Showed my wife that. Birthday came, this is what I got. So this is a 2012 version, all right? That's what this is here, 2012 version. But it set the trend. You got fragrances like Gary, Men in Black. You got 1899 Hemingway by Histoire de Parfum or something like that. I'm not sure what the name is, but it's like 1899 Hemingway, all emulating this fragrance here. You can't go nowhere without having a spice bomb. You gotta have a spice bomb for the winter. You have to have a spice bomb. You also got fragrances like Eze Miyake making a fragrance sort of in that spice bomb feel. Who else? We have companies like Perry Ellis emulating this with M, because it's so damn good, and it kind of like set the trend for everything because it had that tobacco, leather, cinnamon, that type of feel. So that's what you're getting with this one. This is number 6 head on Mount Rushmore. 5th head on Mount Rushmore. One of the most popular scents ever made when it comes to clubbing. 1 Million. This is not the original 1 Million. I don't have the original. I don't own it. I only wanted Privé. Privé to me is the best out of the bunch. But with that 1 Million, you get cinnamon, you get rose, you get leather, and it was sweet. You go to a club or a bar, you smelt the man that had 1 Million. Even to this day, you know people that still wear 1 Million. When you probably moved on. As a collector, most of us moved on from 1 Million. Unless there's something that's new that came out, but it spawned a bunch of flankers as well. It birthed a bunch of flankers. Lucky, Privé, Parfum. This is all just from their own brand, but you got companies like Halloween Man. You got companies like Cuba that's making fragrances that's emulating. So this fragrance here deserved to be on the head or one of the heads on Mount Rushmore, because they're going to continue selling this. They're going to continue making this. They're going to continue making flankers of it. all right? Because it sells really well. Like I said, if you go to a club right now, you're still gonna smell somebody that has 1 million. Either 1 million, 1 million Lucky, 1 million Privé, 1 million Cologne, or something. I mean, Ross just bought a bottle a couple months back, was talking about the bottle of Cologne that he just bought. So this fragrance here is super, super, super popular. And most fragrances, even if you're going for Grantica, they're gonna get a lot of hate, especially the ones that sell a lot. They got more hate than they got love. But you know what that also means? All the hate that they're getting people to get their nose on it. So a lot of people that hate it, they own it. The majority of it own it. So it is what it is, all right? At the number 5 head, the 5th head on Mount Rushmore. The 4th head on Mount Rushmore, another one from the house of Paco Rabanne. You're not going anywhere and smell something that's sweet and not say, is that Invictus? Yeah, I'm talking about Invictus. It's funny that out of all of these fragrance houses out here, Paco Rabanne has 2 fragrances on that route, Mount Rushmore, because you can't go anywhere or you can't find a fragrance that doesn't have some type of DNA or smells similar to Invictus. You're just not going to do it. As far as clubbing, or casual wear, somebody just casually wearing it, you're going to get it. Even as far as their flankers, when they came out with their flanker, when they came out with Aqua in 2016, everybody had to have that type of fragrance that smelled that way. You got Versace that came out with Hawaii. You got Jean Paul Gaultier that came out with Popeye, Superman, and they came out with a bunch of other ones after that. They're all emulating Invictus Aqua. Invictus Aqua was birthed from Invictus. Bubblegum sweetness with some aquatic in it. This is bubblegum sweetness. This one here is, again, I don't have the original. I didn't care for the original. I like the Intense and as well as the Legend. I don't have the Legend yet. I will be getting it. But if someone smelt something sweet on you, they thought it was Invictus. Not only because of the smell, but they also know Invictus by the bottle itself and that trophy look. Invictus, the 4th head on Mount Rushmore. The 3rd head on the Mount Rushmore of fragrances. A fragrance that gets a lot of hate. Well, I know it got a lot of hate when it first came out. I was one of the ones that was hating it. And it was mainly because the people that was selling it, which was in all the major malls, all the big stores in the major malls like Macy's, Dillon's, all this, was pushing the hell out of it and was pushing it in your face. Quick story. In Dallas, Texas, some years back, me and the fellas took our annual trip down to Dallas to go watch the Cowboys play. And we was going into the mall. And the mall we had to go into one of the major stores, which was Dillon's. And as we walking through Dillard's, they kept pushing Sauvage right in our face. Kept pushing. Here, try this. No matter how many times they seen us, they constantly pushed it in our face. And we constantly kept saying, no, I don't want it. So much so I hated it. Couldn't stand. I didn't want to buy it because they were so eager to sell it to you, and I know that's their job. So, but fast forward a few months later, I bought the damn thing. Sauvage, the number 3 head on Mount Rushmore. This birthed Prada Rosa Carbon, Luna Rosa Carbon by Prada. It spawned Dylan Blue. Dylan Blue is actually a mix of Ambroxan as well as a blue fragrance. So you could say Dior had their hands in making Dylan Blue when it comes to, they have a little bit of Sauvage and a little bit of Bleu de Chanel. At the number 3 spot, Sauvage, shower gel freshness with the grapefruit, the Ambroxan, the bergamot, you name it. This thing has all the popular ingredients in it. And this EDT lasts a long damn time. It birthed Prada. It birthed other Ambroxan fragrances or Ambroxan based fragrances because of the fact that they did so well making this thing. And it sold so well. That's what it was. Women love the smell of this. Women love the smell of this. The 3 head Mount Rushmore. Number 2 and number 1 could be flip-flop. Could be flip-flop. If you're going by sales, you want one. If you're going by sales and the way it smells and everybody likes it, actually, that's wrong too, because You can flip-flop. But anyway, we're just gonna pick the first one. This one birthed so many flankers and birthed so many offsprings. So many offsprings. All right, so the offsprings, you got Trump with success. You have Perry Ellis with 360 red. You have Paris Hilton with, I don't know the name of that damn fragrance, but Paris Hilton got one. Oscar has one. It almost looked like the same bottle too. Oscar has one. And you can go on and on and on and on and on. Acqua di Gio, number 2 head on Mount Rushmore. Aquatic King. It birthed his own kids too, with his own wife. No offsprings. With Profumo, Blue, Profundo, Absolute. I mean, so the list goes on and on and on. This thing has so many flankers, it's ridiculous. Some you ain't gonna find no more. But this thing is amazing scent. This one was, I think this was created back in, I think this was created back in 1996 was the birth of this thing here. 1996 is when this came out. It's a long time. This one ain't a 1996 bottle. I tell you that. I don't know when this bottle was made, but it's an old ass bottle. I don't even wear it that often. Shit, I don't even think when I had it, when I first bought it, look at that. That's the original. This is the original bottle I had. Never rebought this. This is all this is what I have left in it. Not getting rid of this thing though. Oh yeah. This is definitely an amazing scent, but it birthed so many. So this is number 2 head on Mount Rushmore. The number 1 head, I told you, I'm not gonna waste no time. Bleu de Chanel, the absolute king in the blue fragrances. Dylan Blue. In New York by Viktor&Rolf Spicebomb. Karl Lagerfeld's. I forgot the name of that, but it's a bottle with a little rhinestone top to it. Same ballpark. You have Bed Bath & Beyond has White Water Rush, sort of the same ballpark. Armani with Tag Him. You know, of course, Armani they're gonna if you're popular, they get you, they copy you. Let me see. You also have companies like Perry Ellis that had the one in the green bottle with the little circle in the middle of it. Don't know the name of it. But then again, then you have the flankers that it had on its own, where it had their own kids. They had EDP and Perfume. So this fragrance is the number 1 head on number 1 head on Mount Rushmore of fragrances. All right. So Bleu de Chanel. So those was the 7 heads on the fragrance Mount Rushmore in the designer line. If you a niche head and you have a ton of fragrances, I'm pretty sure you could pick 7 fragrances in the niche game, set the trend for all the other fragrances. But I'm gonna tell you what I think. The majority of the niche fragrances are coming, unless they're artistic, are coming from these 7 fragrances right here. DNA from these 7 are in the majority of the niche brands. I'm just saying, that's just my opinion. All right. So the 7 heads on Mount Rushmore, the fragrance game designer side. So if you're a fragrance head or you're a niche head, bring out 7 that you think set the trend on the niche side. It's your boy Sambroome. Peace. Back to you in another video.